Good morning. Thank you for joining me this morning as I'm going to give you a couple of tips on how to deal with negative emotions. And this is pretty much all about awareness and paying attention to what you're feeling and then moving forward from there. So the first thing that I want to tell you is to accept that emotion. Because what do we normally do? We don't like feeling negative and then we resist it. But what we actually do is by focusing on it, we actually creating more of that negative emotion. Okay, so what you resist shall persist. Okay, so accept it. Open yourself up for experiencing that emotion. It's fine, you're not going to die. Then the next thing is to actually label that emotion. I feel frustrated, I feel angry, I feel sad. Okay, because the moment you put a label on it, you can actually start to work on it, but also it removes that sting out of that emotion. Then the third tip is express that emotion. Maybe you want to cry if you're feeling sad. Maybe you want to shout in your cushion or down a canyon. Maybe it's a person that upset you, and if you can just calm yourself down and you have enough emotional intelligence to actually go and talk to that person, by all means do it if you know that you can do it. And then the next one is to actually create a distraction. Our brains can only focus on one thing at a time. So go for a run, go for a walk, start focusing on something that's beautiful. Maybe you want to watch a movie that's going to make you laugh. Okay, so by focusing on something fun, you remove the sting out of the negative emotion. And then the fifth tip that I want to give you actually involves a set of questions I want you to ask yourself. So the first question is, what am I feeling right now? Write it down. I feel stuck, I feel depressed, I feel angry, I feel frustrated, I feel sorry for myself. No matter what it is, write that emotion down. Because by doing that, you actually stop that emotion from just running free in your mind. Then the next thing that you're going to write down is what is causing this emotion. Maybe it's that you lost your job. Maybe you struggle with your finances. But maybe it's actually uncontrollable thoughts. So often that's exactly it. Because if you have negative thoughts that are running free in your mind, they are going to actually go into your emotions. Okay, so check those thoughts. Maybe the cause is that you're not living up to your full potential. Maybe you're sitting on your phone half of the day, I don't know, just scrolling, doing something that's not getting you anywhere. Okay, so when we don't live up to our full potential, we also start to feel negative. Maybe you say, but Tronel, it is something beyond my control. I lost my job, I'm going through divorce, I sit with a dreaded disease. Okay, so write that down. Then the next thing, how does this emotion impact my day? You're going to say, oh, it makes me feel crappy, it makes me feel depressed, it makes me feel like I can't go on, it makes me feel frustrated, okay? And then, yes, that's true. But remember, if you're not going to take control of this emotion, it's just going to run with you, okay? So it's really going to actually mess up your day. And I think you'll agree with me, the more you pay attention to this emotion, the stronger it actually becomes, because it's really the law of attraction. Okay? Law of attraction says it gives you more of what you focus on. Then the next question is, what do I want to do about this emotion? And I think the obvious answer is, I don't want it. Okay? And that is fine. I want to let it go. I want to exchange it for a positive emotion. and that is great. But so often the ego comes in there and make us feel all sorry for ourselves about this emotion, about our circumstances. Okay, so in that case, so say in the event of you struggle with your health, you feel stuck at home, you're going through a life-changing event like a divorce, you lost your job. Okay, so if you're going to, so yes, that's true, but how is this negative emotion actually help you get out of this situation? It's not helping you. Okay, so it's important to actually realize this. And then the next question, which is my final question, is what can I start doing right now that can push me out of this negative emotion? So the first thing I want you to actually do is start checking your thoughts. Like I said, it's all about awareness. Okay, you can't feel positive if you have negative thoughts, vice versa. Okay, so check your thoughts regularly. Every 10 minutes, make sure your thoughts are neutral or they are positive. Focus on positive things deliberately. Okay, look around you, see what inspires you. Think of things that make you happy. Maybe you want to recall a pleasant memory, a time where you really felt so positive and empowered. Okay, think of things that spark gratitude. Then think of things that really make you happy, and if possible, do those things that make you happy. Maybe it is just to spend time with your pet. Pets are amazing. They have healing energy. They're just amazing. I love sitting with my pets. They really just, they form a very important part of my day. And then I want you to practice self-compassion. Love yourself. Show yourself kindness. Because when we feel negative, once again, the ego comes into play and it convinces us that you're not worthy, you're not good enough. It compares you to other people. Okay, so in that moment that you feel negative, start practicing self-compassion. Stop negative self-talk. The moment you become aware of negative self-talk, stop, rethink it into a positive. And then another thing, just be of service to someone else. And it doesn't need to be the whole society. Maybe it's just your grandmother, maybe it's your mother, maybe it's your pet. It's somebody that needs you because it makes you feel worth living, and it just tells you that you're actually adding value. And by adding value to someone else's life, it actually makes you also feel better. Then the next thing, jump over the ego. The ego wants you to feel miserable, it wants you to suffer, it wants to cause pain and suffering. Okay, so you have to actually make a decision. I'm not buying into this emotion, I'm jumping through it, and I choose to be positive. It needs to be a deliberate choice that you're making. And I've mentioned this earlier as well, but leave your phone alone. It's amazing. Leave your phone for one day, half a day, but just leave your phone alone and see what impact it makes. Okay, so my final thought is I want you to really commit yourself to feeling better. No matter what you need to do, you need to say, I am going to feel better. And the moment you start feeling better is really exactly that moment where there's a shift that can start taking place in your life. Have a beautiful day. See you next week.